dreaming. Happy Wednesday Eve. We're giving it a few minutes so people can get in here. Had a very nice nap. Besides, I can jam out to this music. Why, hello there. Happy Wednesday. Just by the name, I can tell you're very slim, slender, and a pro at CrossFit. Uh-oh. This game's got some good music. I'm just gonna say that. Yes, it is. I got this for, it was a joke gift that they didn't actually know I would like. I love it. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry man. I don't even know where they got it. Yeah, I have no idea where they got this. It's nice and sturdy and gigantic. This glass was not meant for little people. I mean, look. You see the size? This is not a kid's glass. Yeah, I think one of our emotes. I'm already just gonna think this is gonna work, so. Maybe. Honestly, don't know. I actually don't remember who got it for me. But one of our emotes is going to be derpy for code derp, for like a spiff derp. Or I do something silly, or I miss something very, very obvious. Just like a little shrug or something. I don't know. She's on my keychain. You're a big glass person? Yeah. Look, they're not too big. And what's really good about this is every time I fill it up with water and it gets empty, I need to fill it all up again. And then I feel the need to keep hydrated. So good. It's about to hit that 7 o'clock, which is when I said I was going to start. It's basically a full day of Danganronpa in the morning. It's about a 2.5 hour nap or so. Might have got to 3. I need to start keeping track of that so I can tell my doctor next time. Because yesterday was 5 hours of Danganronpa, followed by a 4-hour nap. Ooh. That was kind of scary, actually. And then today, around 4 hours, and 2.5, 3-hour nap. And I was able to make some dinner. I got all my medicine. Okay, we're good. While dreaming, we're gonna go ahead and own the day. With some awesome Danganronpa. This is technically part 3, or day 3, or I forget. How long have I been playing this game? Since Monday. So, day 3, but part 4. I want to make sure it's not too loud. Mark Tylers. Can't say I know who that is. I'm missing a reference, and I'm sorry. I think I talked to him already. We came back here to check the crime scene, but we're gonna check both. We're gonna check the boys' room first. Famous YouTuber. Yeah, I haven't followed YouTube in a while. What the heck? Oh, that's a clue. Poster's different. When we first came in here, this is the men's locker room. It had a sexy chick on the poster. Now it has what I assume would have been in the females. So something got switched. This poster. It's a popular boy band now called Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite right in the boys' locker room. Is this a blood stain? There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? Well, it's blood. I mean, come on now. I think just seeing that makes me think I nailed it with Chihiro being a boy. I feel smart. We might, because again, the first thing we noticed is that the poster was different. See, that female poster was in the men's room, or the men's locker room. I mean, heck, all you gotta do is lift up the flap a little bit, figure it out. Blood stain? At least I think it's a blood stain. It might be a red herring. In the boys' locker room. Blood on here. This makes me think he was working out, and again, this is assuming that he's a boy. He might not be. He was working out in the boys' locker room, died there, the blood happened to get splattered on there, and then they switched the posters. Maybe. The big-breasted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable, too. A girl's locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd find this kind of thing. Oh, but wait, that reminds me. The poster in the other locker room is... I'm gonna stick with who I thought the first time, if that makes sense. What I'm thinking is... I'm actually gonna go with Yakuya. Because I want him to die, because he's a jerk. And he's gonna try and make Toko think it was her alternate ego, Genocide Jack. Because she probably doesn't know what's going on with the other part of her. And he's one of the only ones who knows that this is the setup, like the calling part. I really want it to be him so he can get his butt kicked. In the boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band. In the girls' locker room is a poster of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Yeah, I think he's framing her. Could the posters have been switched? See, I think he's framing her, and then that would also explain the awkwardness, like, back and forth between them. I'm going with that way. But if they were, why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little more about the locker rooms. Nice. 2 locker room posters. Welcome back. Fold your laundry properly. Dude had a real complex about being weak. I think this already got this as a bullet point. You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? All I need to get stronger. Yeah, do you remember she said that more than once? Sure did, which I guess explains the trip down here. But did she really need to get stronger that badly? Oh. My idea of folding and putting in drawers is literally just laying them all flat and putting it on top of something. You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't all that strong. I don't know, man. Haven't really thought about that stuff. Chihiro's complex. Where did it come from? Hey, Kyoko, have you made any progress on your investigation? Generally speaking.
However,
but I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time, thoroughly. We're about to find a dingle. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be praying for your success. With that, Kyoko turned and left the girls' locker room. Dramatically. I guess I'll take another look at the body, though. And Chihiro's handbook is missing. Yeah, because we found the 3 dead students' handbooks in the mailbox, but one of them wouldn't turn on, and we only assume it's Leon's. That's definitely worth worrying about. Nice. Chihiro's e-handbook has been added to the truth bullet section. Obey. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I never got to examine it the first time. I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Well, I'd better give it a shot anyway. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. And that's what I was thinking with. Or Sakura. Like, her character was very anime-ish, and I was just thinking, I've seen that before. I mean, it's in several animes where the guy just seems so feminine and small. Everyone just thinks it's a girl, and he just goes with it. The rope was used to prop her up in a kind of crucifix position. Yeah. The rope has a... Oh, there it is! There's the extension cord. I wasn't sure if that was it or not. Because that's actually really long if it's holding her up. It's not a rope at all. The more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was the blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right. There's the issue of her being suspended and the fatal blow. At first, I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. Yeah. This is another reason to think it's not actually Genocide Jack. All of these ones are stab victims. Multiple stab wounds. Multiple stab wounds. This one was a blunt thing to the head. And then no stab wounds that we've seen yet. So this is more looking like a frame to me. What does all this mean? Well, the one thing most likely to tie all these mysteries together is the true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. And to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. All of these are guys too. Oh yeah, it's true. Oh. Yeah, none of them... I don't think it mentioned anything about any female victims. Good point. Plus, it might help to look at the Genocide Jack case file one more time. Can I just open her flap just a little bit? Just a little bit. Just want to look. Just see the package. Yeah. Bloodstain on dumbbell. Dumbbell has to be the murder weapon. Hey, she said to examine thoroughly. Could be an injury down there, we're not sure. Look at the blood going down her legs. His legs. It's investigating. There's a blood stain on the carpet. It could only have been caused by Chihiro's murderer. You spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes Hina and I use it together. You're right, Dreaming. I'm sorry. Okay, then let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' locker rooms could have been switched? They were, because we came in here earlier.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't really say. I never really paid any attention to the posters. I see.
However...
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. There's actually a really good bone broth coffee flavor protein shake I like. We have protein coffee in the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix the protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room, and it left a stain. Oh. A stain. But I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
Of course.
Exactly. I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. So the entire setup somehow switched. Huh. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain here to begin with? You think Sakura's a transgender? Now I'm looking for an Adam's apple. Hard to tell, but that would be the one thing I would look at. You can't really transplant that. Disappearing stain has been added to the truth bullets. Okay, so I'm already thinking Chihiro died in the boys' locker room. They moved the carpet, the body, and the poster to the girls' locker room because reasons. I think we already got this added. Let's make sure. Written on a wall. Written in the victim. Okay, let's see if they told us to look at the Genocide Jack file again. Suspected Genocide Jack victims include Ken Harada, Tetsuhiro Honda, Shoji Gaku, among countless others. Those are all male names. Yeah, it had blood on it, so they didn't want to have anything over there that could show that the murder happened in the boys' room. Good catch. They were killed in the same way and mounted to a nearby wall. The word bloodlust was found at each scene of the crime. Profile indicates the killer is likely a student suffering from a split personality. But yeah, so far all of them are kind of men. Oh, if we hadn't been nice to Toko, we would have been next. That would have been very unfortunate. Alright. Hold on. Oh, I got the stain in both rooms. Double check though. Or maybe like in the men's room it'll show the stain. Oh, this is the coffee stain we're talking about. What I don't like is if it was Byakuya and Shihiro is a dude, how did he open up the girls' locker room? What's in the carpet? It can only be caused by her murder. Now, is this a door I can go through? Oh, that's right. Mailbox. And he knew about those. He could have just put it back. Door leads out to the pool. That's a good point. That seems really elaborate. And he was the one reading all the weird deaths and like mystery things in the library. Yeah, besides that coffee stain. Yeah, if all the blood got on here, that's the only thing you'd have to switch. Let's see if this looks like the coffee stain. Strange stain on the carpet. Okay. No updates on that one. Is there anything actually in the pool? Let's just double check. Nope. Okay. Yeah. To me, it looks like Byakuya is a jerk. And he wanted to win the game and all that. Until I'm shown something else, that's a definite possibility. Okay, we're going back to library. Because we found the extension cord. Okay. And it's that exact extension cord that Byakuya was using. Thick layer of dust on top of the desk. There's some kind of clue here. And guess not. The lamp won't turn on. Oh, I see. It's not plugged in. The lamp's cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. The last time I saw it, it was definitely on. It was definitely right here. Yep. Oh, that's right. Byakuya is using an extension cord. Well, there's no extension cord here now. I wonder if... Nice! Library desk lamp. Let's see if I can actually find anything in here now. Shelf was packed tight with books. There's some kind of clue here. Guess not. Next. Nope. Next. Nope. Can I read the letter again? According to this letter, Hope Speak Academy had stopped functioning as a school. And what's more, it didn't even happen recently. Apparently it closed down over a year ago. The mastermind probably took over the abandoned school in order to start this killing game. Which explains why there aren't any other students here, because it's not a real school. And then there's these serious issues that forced the school to close down in the first place. Is there any connection between that and what's happening to us now? Mastermind's motive. If we can figure out why they would want to imprison us all here, will that be enough to get us out of here? That's a good point. Okay, let's go back to the secret room with all the big files. I think it was one of these boxes. It had the cord in it. Wooden box is empty. The extension cord was in there before. Literally a wooden box just for an extension cord. I mean, wow. To report on presidential assassination, it's really intriguing. But if it means I become a target, nope, we'll leave it where it is. Thank you very much. Smart decision. Desk lamp. Byakuya grabbed the one thing from over here and put it over there. It sure is dark over there. I hope that's not important because it doesn't make sense to me. Talking about the secret council. Well, I guess I better not. Taking a look at the Genocide Jack case. I know it was around here somewhere. It's gone. Did someone take it out of the archive? Well, the only one who would do something like that, it has to be Byakuya. Well, that's suspicious. So the one we have in our possession, I guess, isn't the real one. So we need to find Gakuya. Where would he be? I think he left. Let's try downstairs. Well, you never know where he is, so I might as well just start looking in rooms. The baby is sleeping. Please be quiet. How cute. Oh, not that way. This way. He wasn't in there. Go back downstairs. Oh, that's right. I can check the map. Maybe he'll show up there. Oh. Well, that's handy. I guess it wants us to go back there. Ooh. Oh no, that's just telling us where the things are. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure we found everything in all those rooms. Oh yeah, warehouse. We want to go to the warehouse. Because Chihiro was looking for something there. Do you have anything useful?
How unfortunate.
We should have confessed our embarrassing secrets after all. It's all because I wasn't strong enough. Dreaming, I still think it's Byakuya. If for no other reason than he's a jerk. And for whatever reason, I also think he's framing Genocide Jack. Which is Toko. Weeping. There is proof. Again, that was a very heavy dumbbell. Oh, Hina, how's Toko doing? Same as before, she won't come out and she just keeps on mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I left her there. You left her? My head was all swimming and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, but don't worry, I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of which, what are you eating?
Huh?
A donut, of course. Of course. There's two things I'm sure God created. Outer space and donuts. Waifu. Really? I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big secret. It's not much of a secret. I should have tried to spend more time with her. Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well...
Yeah, she was a little bit strange. I didn't really hang out with other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance. Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
Yeah, totally.
Yep, it's true. It wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls. Was she just shy? No, she talked to the boys all the time. It's kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but totally fine with the opposite. Chihiro's totally a no-life nerd geek girl. She's a neat. Hey. That's fine with me, if she's a girl.
Ah!
Oh wait, maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl. Always a count, okay? Check in the kitchen. That one knife is still missing that killed Sayaka. I don't see anything new to click on. There's nobody else in here, right? Okay. We're going... Where are we going? Storehouse. There should be somebody in here. Yeah. Nice, Celeste. Celeste, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. It is absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then you did find something. Very well, I'll tell you, and only you.
Actually,
Last night I saw her here. Shihiro was in the warehouse. Were you both out late at night then? What, really?
indeed.
This was right before night. Okay, never mind. Right before nighttime.
Hmm? What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Yep. Which room had that locker? There's a locker that was open. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it appears she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this would ever have happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. So, apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of a track jacket or duffel bag. Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying it. Okay, good point. It's gotta be in a locker. Which means the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Oh, I guess we need to try the trash thing. The incinerator. Wait, is that all we get?
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in?
Sure thing, Bear Dad.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The class trial. You remember where to meet, right?
Hi.
Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
Begin the class trial, or... It's about to begin. Oh, I don't have a choice. Alright. Where are those things that Chihiro brought? They might be in a locker room. They might have been incinerated. But then Hifumi would have been the one to do it because it's every week and it hasn't even been a week. So everyone is ready to... What? I'm blind. Are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here. And Toko is... You don't remember?
Come on.
Just kidding. How could I forget that nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
I'll go ahead and drag her out here, kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. He says with a grin. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe he would drag a girl around. Hidoi. So now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator. Let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So shall we get going? It's time to find out who kills Chihiro. Chihiro. Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. and that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. It is one of these two. And I'm personally hoping it's this douchebag. Let's talk to her, see if she has anything to say. I guess not. I gave you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. Waifu, you got anything? I guess I wasn't really helpful at all on this one. Let's look through our case files one more time. Time of death was around 2 a.m. Body discovered in the girls' locker room on the second floor of the school. Cause of death was a blunt object blow to the head. She was killed instantly. The Bochi hero wanted to get stronger. She declined several invitations from Sakura and Aoi and must have used the locker room late at night to avoid them. Despite this, Chihiro had stated that she desired help with her efforts. Oh, I forgot that part. Someone may have been meeting them in the locker room. Murder weapon. What's his account? Chihiro had told anyone willing to listen that she wanted to get stronger. Some assumed that due to her inferiority complex about being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. So... the strong ones are Mondo and Sakura. And you have to have... you need a male student handbook to open the boys and a female to open the girls. And it's not possible for two people to enter at the same time. That's important. And it had to be used by the dead ones, one of these. Each student that has died is placed in the mailbox in the main hall. One of the books found in the main hall has been broken, which is apparently a rare occurrence. Which we think the broken one is Leon's. However, Monokuma claims it's very unlikely that Leon's handbook would have been broken. Case file, read that one. Always account. We're reviewing a thing for a case. Chihiro seems to have consciously kept her distance from other girls at the school, even from the beginning. Meanwhile, it had been noticed that she got along remarkably well with her male classmates. This one has the coffee stain, blood on the poster from the men's room. Maybe he stole Leon's book. If he stole Leon's book, so that... I don't see a benefit to that, though. Oh, okay, yeah. If the broken one was Chihiro's book... So the broken one you're saying is Chihiro's book, and Yakuya took Leon's. We don't know where hers is at all. Tied with an extension cord, no stabs. Stain. Okay, the lamps are kind of weird. Oh, Yakuya was known to use his lamp often. However, the extension cord had gone missing at some point, and the lamp's cord couldn't quite reach the outlet. Another murder right before nighttime. Chihiro was spotted leaving the warehouse. It seems she stuffed some blue exercise clothes into a duffel bag. And the fact that it's blue, and not pink, presuming she was on her way to exercise. The clothes were not found at the crime scene. Celeste had not told anyone other than Makoto about this encounter. We've looked at all the points. Let's go. Bye-bye.
It's true.
I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, ding, it came to a sudden stop. Freaking flower that comes up when he opens his armpit. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste your time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good, good. You're rip raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay, let's get this show on the road.
thrills, chills, kills!
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly brittle, deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. Let's not forget, the one thing we totally forgot was that Chihiro had apparently asked somebody to help her. Set skills. Does that mean we can... Okay, we have the melodious voice, which increases the damage to opponent when a statement is destroyed. Increases bullet capacity. Effective during bullet time... I mean, it's one of the only ones we have, because we don't have any other ones. That's all we got. So, that's how that works. Cool. Yeah, we literally just reviewed all that. I'm reading what's in the bottom. Bizarre class trial begins again. Why was Chihiro murdered? Is the killer hiding within the group? Is there any help to be found in this series of murders? Okay. Alright.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
The whole idea of this is crazy.
Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. There was literally only one option for that. Locker room dumbbell, yeah.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Oh. Oops. I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in the statement somewhere.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
I got an itchy trigger finger.
It was a head wound.
It was a head
According
wound.
to the Monokuma file,
And it was a blunt
the
instrument.
killer
Okay.
used a
I'm not supposed
blunt
to
instrument.
supposed to wait for that counteract.
What kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
First try.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yeah. It's an investigation.
Yes! That's so creepy!
No, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's a dead body.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element is added to the non-stop defense debates. Would you like to hear more? A new element? Okay. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines. So think about them as obstacles in your debate. Okay. There's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down with the white noise. However, if you shoot the actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease. So we're clearing away white noise so that we can shoot the target easier. Or just be able to hit it. Okay. That's what I think. But if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. Well, it will, because we picked the medium difficulty. In which case you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, GLHF.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean... There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack...
Okay, I see
I
what I'm
don't know
doing.
who that is!
I see what I'm doing. Right-click fires the shot. And then you shoot the evidence after that. Okay. The thing Bakuya showed me in the archive, one look at that would anyone would be convinced. It shows that this was the work of Genocide Jack.
The culprit is Genocide. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, it's wrong.
Okay. A mechanic I understood right away. Yay.
Might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it?
I agree.
What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now.
And that's suspicious.
More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be 2 defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case.
3, since we count stabbing.
The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
That, you figured out.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
And to be fair, I thought it said boob lust the first time I read it. Because I was like, Chihiro doesn't have them, so... Kafumi's not wrong.
But more important is the other characteristic. And it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Sure, I'll be happy to do an input. Every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, has to do with positioning of the body. How the victim was positioned.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
I really hope it's Jakuya.
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes. In fact, it's Toko.
He just went out and said it.
What?
I wonder if she knows.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
Why is he surprised?
What?
And why is she surprised?
Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Bloodophobia.
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also not Toko. The answer is, she's not just one person, but multiple people. Hangman's Gambit. I think I remember. Oh yeah, I'm putting things together. I don't know what this word is. It's a blank blank HI blank blank. I know the condition, so give me the first letter, Dreaming. Just the first letter, and we can probably figure it out with from there, because I don't know what the heck. It's like multiple personality disorder. Just it's not dyslexia. S. So first one's S. Something. Okay. I forget what this word is going to be. Schizo? Okay, schizophrenia. Okay, got it. Got it. Thank you, Dreaming.
Now I understand.
Do you want to be called Dreaming or Kara?
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Well, like you want. Sure thing.
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have... what did they call it?
I was thinking of that.
Dissociative identity disorder.
And nowhere did it ever say, like, schizo, so...
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
rude.
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
And that and when she got to be like Genocide Jack at that little instance, she was like, oh, that's a dead body. Not, oh, look what I did, or isn't this great? It sounded like she didn't see it before. The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality, it has to do with her behavior. She fainted. Oh wait, one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality, her behavior changed.
I got it!
Yeah.
You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine. I'm fine. Whoa, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? That makes me think she hadn't seen it before. And then laughed about it. She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top inning and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
It's accurate.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
Yeah.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive it out. The killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
Which means she was being a bro.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story.
Yeah, he needs to just... bleh.
She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to
Total
have
jerk.
such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
Total jerk.
This is all a lie.
And they're doing a good job of making
Right,
us
Toko?
not like him. Which is also good.
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
Monokuma, can we change a rule real quick? Can we all just leave him in the sauna for some time? Lock the door or something? I don't know.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
Oh, she was trying to come on to him. Okay.
Besides, you broke your promise first.
What?
You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone.
I don't think he did.
But in spite of that promise,
I couldn't keep our promise. Don't worry, never again. Won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. I don't think she knows when Jack's in charge. Let's trap him in a sauna until he gets dehydrated. Exactly. Also, sip.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me.
Yep. She was trying to get a date.
That's the only reason I promised.
Because she's a masochist.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that.
She's also delusional on what guys say. Got it.
But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I think he got an idea of how to frame her for that reason. That's really smart. He figured he did that, like, in the course of a day.
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
Yeah, he's trying to move this along.
The person?
He wants to talk to Genocide Jack? Really? Poor Hifumi. He's next to her. Who's over here? Oh, it's just Hifumi on one side. He'll be fine.
You don't mean...
Yeah, he's fine. Nice big cushion. Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
She's super crazy now. Wow. Oh, man. Those eyes.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality! So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
How does... Actually, I'm really curious now. How does the world in the United States deal with something like that? Are they like diagnosed and then they're found guilty, but they're put in like maybe an insane asylum? Or they go in regular jail? That's crazy. And her tongue randomly gets longer.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
And that's what you guys were talking about when her character develops. She becomes twice the character. This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Oh. I mean, that was a polite response.
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Fumi Bro asking the tough questions as the serial killer is like 2 feet away. He goes up a notch.
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
I think there's a miscommunication here.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
It's true.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone.
Yeah, with that calmed. I wasn't expecting that.
Just kidding again!
She's almost a split personality within a split personality. Almost.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Yeah, I don't actually see a motive.
Remember what Monokuma told us?
Oh. Okay.
If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours,
That motive.
an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Until there was a jerk named Yakuya who would just tell everybody anyway.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh? Nailed it.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such
This
a
is a good
bizarre
debate.
fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
You're so cute when you're angry. Maybe. She's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. Is she gonna testify or something? Status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more
think it's
proof
that one.
do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
There's modus operandi around the bottom left button. Thinking I can hold control. Okay, just focus on remembering Chihiro's body. That must be the answer. Right, no stabbing. No stabby. That should prove what he said isn't quite right.
Sorry, but I...
You say that, but perhaps if you had an...
Oh, an alibi.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
I needed to hold space. I thought I could do it without space.
You killed her.
Okay.
Sorry, but I...
You say that, but perhaps if you had an...
Oh, an alibi.
When you compare your
next
past murder, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know?
I say she probably knows.
Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things.
As most serial killers in real life actually do.
Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
That's a great metaphor, or just like example. And what sucks is some low-end restaurants do that.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
What was holding her up and how she died. There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. The victim's
I
fatal.
got it! For one, the cause of death is different.
And there's plenty of sharp objects everywhere, so she could have stabbed.
In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
I just realized how strong she would have to be. That's like concrete. Scissors jammed into their wrist, through their wrist, into concrete, enough to hold a body up. Wow.
But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method?
Yeah, it's called You Don't. You can gift her the scissors if you want. Oh. Yeah, we got shears. Maybe if we're friends with her, she won't kill us. It seems fine to me. I mean, Toko's not very confident, but she doesn't seem bad other than that. It's just kind of her other side that's, you know.
And there's more. one more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
She's super crazy.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking? So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
The second difference is related to how the body was suspended. In the photos of the other genocide jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. See the clear difference? What was used to suspend her? Yeah.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her?
Getting proper responses, I guess, gives your health back, because we lost one when I messed up the first time.
They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous genocide jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement!
Say, that looked like some special scissors.
Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use.
If we give her scissors, I wonder if that would be rude. Or would Genocide Jack come out and say, "Oh, how sweet. I won't kill you." I'm sorry, Genocide Jill. It's actually changed the name over there. Genocide Jill.
And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Big Makoto. Big Mac. The man. The two patties with bread between the man. The burger.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
I think she only kills men.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Oh, and she wouldn't actually have known it was a guy, if it is a guy. Which I still think it is, because again, Chihiro would have been working out in the men's locker room when he died, which is why everything switched. There's a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If the names of every victim, then you'll notice is because Chihiro was a girl.
I got it! Is it because
I guess he was a guy because, again, I've seen a lot of anime, and whenever we interacted with Chihiro, I've just run into a lot of those characters in anime shows. And much earlier, she was saying wants to get stronger. Never refuted that she wanted to get stronger. Are you sure? Oh yeah, we saw periods. Okay, that's why she was bleeding down her... You're right, sorry. You're absolutely right, Cara. Got it.
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
I missed that. I turn a blind eye to some things, you know? Kind of overlook things so you can have a better life with your special someone.
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gaku, 23. And to be fair, if you play this in English and you don't know enough about Japanese, you wouldn't know that those are male names. You would have to guess by the picture. Yep, all male names.
They were all guys?
Yep.
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
Adorable.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
Aww.
The hell is wrong with you?
She's so cute about her murderless serial killings. It's adorable.
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl! And the mopey side of me just hates it! But
Yes.
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Because being adorable is a valid reason for murder. Nailed it.
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
I want ramen now.
I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lolly cur!
I mean, she's lively, she's interactive, she's honest. She knows what she likes. I think Byakuya would have more interest if he was obese. Okay.
Lowly cur.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival.
Really?
And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
And Genocide Jill doesn't want to be found out, but so otherwise she wouldn't be able to keep killing. So she wouldn't make herself a target. That's a good point.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors.
Does she have any here?
Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors?
She won't use any other scissors except hers.
Don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
I really hope not. That would be bad. Oh, she has some. Done. Wolverine up in here.
She's fully equipped. That's right, so I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side?
This also helps prove that it's not her. She had scissors she could have used.
Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you.
Her character's a lot better now. Suicidally, serial killer, but better.
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
Yeah, Whit, I'm with you. Much better. Because as with Toko, you thought she was crazy and she might do something. Jill's just honestly gonna, crazy. And you know it for a fact.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
For this case.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied Genocide Jack's cases. Oh, please. I really, yes, please. Pretty please. Please.
Here's my answer.
Please.
Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records.
He gonna die.
Yeah. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
And the silence.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
And he's silent.
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
Yep.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Oh. Both her personalities have the hots for Byakuya. Well then.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Well, it's true, he's ugly. Well, I guess, you know, Genocide Jill has her own taste. And when have you been acting suspicious? The entire freaking time.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
In the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? How? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room. Oh yeah, he like, let's go there first.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say?
Yeah.
The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
We didn't know who... No, yeah, we did know. Chihiro was the one missing. Okay, I was gonna say we didn't know she died yet.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
I think.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it?
Make sure I got the series of events right. I think we all quote-unquote met in the morning, which he somehow got there on time. He usually didn't care. And then was Chihiro the only one that... I know we didn't see who died, but was Chihiro the only one? No, Chihiro and Toko were both gone. Okay, no, that's both girls. Because I think when we left to go look, it's because we didn't know where Chihiro was, and she was the only one we didn't know. There wasn't that many people in that morning. There was only like 5 people in the room when we opened it up. And he, for some reason, was one of them. Oh yeah, we're missing a lot. That's...
Go ahead. Share with the rest of the class.
There was a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. You make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to non-stop defense. Yes. Next, we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak point, hold down the left mouse button. Then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. Oh, we're going to take what he says, load it, and shoot it. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time for a flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck, have fun. Oh, she's crazy.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Hearing Yakuyu's comment about Chihiro being a girl, I realize there's a clear contradiction there. I'm glad it gives us a little hope. It doesn't make sense how we could have known before we found it. Okay, to make that contradiction clear.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I need to get to that girl. I need to load that up again.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we
I think it
found
was
the body.
real.
But he was acting...
if you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distraction.
Am I supposed to hit the weak point, right? I'm supposed to hit the weak point.
What's so strange
You gotta
about
hold
that?
the left mouse button to steal.
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Oh, what does the file actually say? About that part. No, this round 2, the body was discovered in the girl's locker on the second floor. The consequence was that she was killed instantly. Try holding on the other one.
So, you said Byakuya, he was
Luckily we have, like,
if you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions.
What's so strange?
I wish you'd taken
It's
me
the
with
far
you.
right one. Make sure I get this.
So, you said Byakuya, he was acting...
Stop
If you're
going fast
presented with
on
the
this.
opportunity,
That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Oh, it's not that. Who was a girl?
Shoot!
Yeah.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
It's gotta be something earlier than that.
if you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
I'm gonna take
The
that.
victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
I thought I loaded it.
Shoot!
I'm not getting this. I
So,
like it, but I'm
you
not
said
getting it.
Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
if you're presented with the opportunity to check
wanna try
out
and
the
save this
girls'
one again.
locker room,
That's a natural reaction for any guy!
Okay, now I think I have it.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for
can I-
pointless
no.
distractions. What's so strange about
Do I
that?
hit a weak point first?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was
Can I
acting
suck this
kind
up
of
and it change a
weird
different
before we
color?
found the body. But he was
Before we
acting
found the body.
weird.
Okay.
How?
if you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You hold it and it'll
You
change the bullet.
absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The
I can't
victim
take that
was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions.
What's
I'm
so
gonna fail
strange? I
this.
wish you'd taken me with you.
Because I'm not understanding something.
So, you said
I changed
Byakuya
it.
was acting
See
kind of
that?
weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
The only weak points are before we found the body.
The opportunity to check out the girls' locker room.
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was
Chihiro, who was a girl.
So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first.
Okay,
there
now
was no
let's stay
time
this.
for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
You wish you'd taken me with you?
Oh, now it went to victim is Chihiro. Oh! So when we suck it up, it's from a phrase that has a weak point. Oh. Thanks, Kara.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
that's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions.
What's so strange? You wish you'd taken me with you?
How do I get rid of it? Hearing the curious check comment about Chihiro being a girl. Yes, Kara, because I don't want to fail this. I just need to figure out how they want me to say what we already know. Because we know it. I need to get this first example out of the way, is what I mean. Take Hina's statement and attack Baku.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Before we found the body.
But he was acting weird...
Okay, I see.
how?
if you're presented
I'm
with
getting
the
this.
opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
Because again, we weren't even sure it was
You
Chihiro.
absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
Makes sense. Thank you.
The victim
Was Chihiro, who was...
No, that's wrong.
Got it. Do I get a heart back? I had 3 hearts. I'm curious when we
I'll
get
tell
it.
you what's so
we go up a
strange
heart or
about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Bakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I got him cornered, but he's acting like it was nothing to do with it.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
He's like leading us.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
She's just kind of leading us. I hope she doesn't die. She's a good one. The difference between this case and the other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Bakuya is responsible is hidden in there. What could it be? Did we get our time reset? I hope. Library Destiny. Yeah, because he used the,
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
I'm gonna stay with this just in case.
Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life. Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
We use the desk lamp, I think. The proof that Byakuya did it is hidden in the rope. I guess it's possible. First, the item should be bound with was used like rope, but wasn't actually rope. No, it wasn't. Byakuya didn't use rope. He used a very specific object. Okay, I think we need to...
What? The difference between the cases?
I wonder if we need to use our new thing.
When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissor. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Yeah, we should have tried this bullet
Then there must
on
be
his
something
thing.
very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope
Before in my life.
No, that's wrong.
I'm glad I didn't try to use the new thing.
Actually,
now I understand why we get so much
I'm pretty sure you
time.
have seen it before.
So that we can go through it to decide if we want to use that little, like, truth thing.
Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
You get him, Taka. He's calmly trying to think of a way to lie.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
No. You killed him in the boys' locker room. Because you're a jerk. He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
No.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
Yeah, I like her.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second?
Jotomate kudasai.
I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What's that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really accept what Byakuya said as the truth? I'm so excited when these get harder. Or let's even just a little bit, because we're able to figure some of these things, the little things out, and I love it. Yeah. No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off of what he said. Scene of the crime.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing.
How bad acting.
What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
Oh, you get yours.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? It felt great. It felt great, Spifftastic pulling the guy who is a total jerk off course, off guard, and off his rocker. He about to get his When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Gakuya, who'd been so confident up until now, maybe Byakuya never even realized the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else. Or he wasn't expecting us to figure that out.
Hey! Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker rooms. The carpet was, but I think the first one is going to be this one.
I got it!
Yep, we got a heart
The proof
back.
that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
A big-boobed supermodel.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
Come on, we explored this before.
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Probably. That's why she was a big-boob supermodel.
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
No.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
Yum, yum, yum.
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
I'd know it anywhere.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Because everyone else thinks Chihiro's a girl.
Huh? Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Oh, yeah, he would know about that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Yeah. The broken handbook. What we think is Leon's.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
there's literally only one weakness. So this is kind of a gimme. Theoretically, if Chihiro was able to use Leon's handbook, she could get into the boys' locker room. We found Leon's handbook in the main hall. There's no doubt that it was. In which case, can we really say that she used it? Yeah, because there's three in there, three dead people. Two of them were girls, and the one that was broken.
The boys' locker room somehow.
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have.
No, I don't. She used this. Huh? I'm talking about
Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Okay, there's two. I need to look at the first one.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
There's only two
I don't
chances to
think
get this
that's
right.
it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong.
We don't know it's Leon's handbook.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Or if it is his, it was broken, so she couldn't have used it.
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
Yep.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Come on, Taka.
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
I need to make sure I know which truth bullet was about. Okay, there's that. One of these is about her, like, she's remarkably well with her male classmates. I think that's always okay. Make sure I got that.
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya was the one who did it. Really? Oh, we have to figure out how they did it. You can't just say it was you. It's probably a rule that he's hoping to exploit.
Hold on a second.
Joe.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
There's a rule about not a second person allowed to go in the same one, but is that only for the girl's side? So could Byakuya have just let her in if it is a her?
Well, to explain
no, I'm not
that,
so sure.
why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Oh, I thought once we come in here, we're done.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
The Bear Bro just got played. That was great.
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll
It's
be
got a point.
very unhappy.
Can't assume. Someone at work, this is so funny, they remember it still. They said, "So, Spiff, what are you looking for in a woman?" I said, "She has to believe in God and have been born a woman." Two very important facts. That's a baseline.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Shall we go? So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was... Okay, girls' locker room.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
She's about to lift the flap on Chihiro's happiness.
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
Fun fact, if Chihiro is a boy, by now rigor mortis would have set in. You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
2D. 2D. 2D.
No way, no way, no way, no way, no way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
He's more spiritual than religious.
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
Go further. Beyond!
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Oh, she actually is going Super Saiyan. Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy!
No.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for
And...
confirming this fact.
shock?
What?
Yep. Yep.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then
Yeah.
it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Very feminine and dainty guy.
Oh,
Like
what?
the
You
cross-dress.
guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
Wow.
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
And Chihiro was probably a fake name, because Chihiro is a girl. Oh, it is! Chihiro. See, that I didn't know. I know the basic ones are definitely Guy versus girl. Sakura was definitely a girl. I still thought it was a guy, though.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
We nailed it.
I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
Which makes Byakuya's wanting to go to the girls' locker room first. To think that Chihiro was actually a guy, that thought had never crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Oh, then he broke it.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room.
How are you gonna hide the fact that it's a boy after he's dead? You should just left him in the boys' locker room.
And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
Yep.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Why did he move the body? He didn't know. Which is why he needed to move her to the girls' locker room. Right?
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
Oh, Jill.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Oh, yeah, to frame. Thanks, Whit. He's trying to frame Jill. That makes sense.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
Because he's trying to figure a way to get out of here.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Yes, because we hate him. It's the only reason we need, right?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But
yeah, who else could do it? Basically any guy, yeah. None of them really had a reason to kill him, though.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
Yeah, he didn't want to go alone, so whoever he was asking for help from someone. And he would have had to tell them that, hey, I'm a boy, I need help getting stronger.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
I still want to believe it's him.
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt.
It would have to have been him, though. He's the only one that knew how to set up the body. Besides Jill, who didn't do it.
He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
Was he hoping we'd get the person right, the place and everything else wrong, so that he would still go free?
At least, that's how I see it.
Do we have to guess who did it and how they did it and where and all that to vote him properly, or do we just vote who it is?
And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you.
Okay.
And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit.
I really want you to be, though.
I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
How did he get in there, then?
Are you fucking with us right now?
Plot twists!
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Wow.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
The murder definitely took place in the boys' locker room. Because of the poster.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
If he did that, why was he trying to pin the murder on someone else? That would get everyone to do it wrong, and then we'd all die.
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
Just to show the other... Oh! How does that benefit us? Because again, if we don't get this person, if we don't get it right, we all die.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
Could it have been him? He's acting more ditzy than usual. He was the one who like looked in the main hall a few times. Yeah, we're both lost, and it's awesome.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
Well done, game.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
I kind of hope it's not her. Because again, Chihiro looked at the people with strength, which would be her and Mundo.
Our lives are all on the line.
I can't imagine either of them like wanting to kill somebody though. They all seem kind of like, let's get through this together kind of thing.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing to be sure that we know about the killer. Killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means... Killer's a guy.
I got it!
Since the crime scene was in the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. And Leon's was broken, which means they had to use their own to get in there. I always feel smart when I say what I say, and then that shows up. Let me get that dirt off my shoulder. That's right. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Okay, what is Celeste's account? Oh, that she had the boys.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Celeste's the only one that knew that it was a boy.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
New info. That's Celeste's new info.
Shoot!
That's new info, though, because no one else knew that.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead... Well, did nobody get...
I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some...
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new...
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man. Game over.
Game over, man. Game over.
No! Not game over!
I know it has to be a weak point. And I'm assuming it's that last one, because the killer would have been the only last one to see and know that it was a boy. Or have an inkling it was a boy. Is Celeste a boy? Let's make sure we know what does Celeste's thing actually say. Celeste. Celeste again. On the night of the murder, right before nighttime, Shira was spotted leaving the warehouse. It seems she has stuffed some blue exercise clothes in a duffel bag, presumably she was on her way to exercise, but the clothes were not found at the crime scene. Celeste had not told anyone other than Makoto about this encounter. No, as a matter of fact, there is an eyewitness regarding Chihiro. She has more information about that. Okay. I think it is the one we were trying to shoot.
Isn't there a single clue?
Did nobody get... I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
No, it's wrong.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
Your speech, man.
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
Chihiro wasn't even wearing that.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much.
Who is he chumming with? He wasn't really chumming with one person or the other.
Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed. Oh, a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
I hope it doesn't turn out being Mundo. I don't know why he would do that.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
I really want to, Yucky.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
No. I really hope so. Could be. He's dead. He doesn't work out. He just seems lazy. Yeah, I'm lost too, and I love that. That makes this a good game.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from.
Did you hear that? It's like a snare drum.
Do you think there might be some
I didn't realize that
connection
was the
between
song.
the
I don't know if
culprit
it's
and
anything.
Chihiro's jacket?
The culprit and Chihiro's jacket.
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
There's a blue tracksuit jacket. Chihiro's track jacket really holds some clue about the killer. Somehow, it's really hard to believe. Okay, what are we... We usually get a hint based on the piece of evidence we're trying to show. Celeste's account. Luckily, it's the only bullet.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading.
Yep.
He was on his way to go exercise.
Yep.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
Amen.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
He's right. What he said just now is really odd. I know something happened.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was
I'm
heading.
glad we have time to look through all
He was
this.
on his
I'm
way
gonna
to go
ignore chat.
exercise.
I want to try and figure it out.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit.
Did we ever say?
Sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse.
Did we say it was blue?
Did any of that really help us?
Mondo, bro, please don't be Mondo.
Figuring out who...
No way.
We're gonna try
Not
that
a
one.
chance.
First of all,
I don't
know
think we
which
ever
he
said it
on
was
his
blue.
way to go exercise.
So next we have, why did he choose this?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong.
Mondo, bro.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
Oh, you already figured it out with blue. You're nailing it. I got around to it.
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
You're good, Wit. We're playing this for the first time together. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm not playing this game you guys are watching. We are playing this game. I just wanted to... I like trying to solve it and then see how we all did. Also, I'm stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assume he headed off to exercise. Yeah, she didn't actually say the color.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
I really wanted it to be Yuppie, because he's a jerk.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
Yeah, we got evidence about her... This one? No. One of them says something about, that he wants to get stronger. She admired strength more than anything else. By his own account.
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, because they're gone.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Yeah, when you were saying strong earlier, that was from one of the accounts. Is that Chihiro admired strength and wanted help being stronger.
Then the only reason he could have known
Which
what
would
color
have
the
been Mondo
tracksuit
for a
was.
guy, or Sakura if Chihiro was a girl. But she always didn't say yes to Sakura. Yeah.
It's if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Called him Cherry.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night.
How?
He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, he wasn't. He had it in the duffel
No,
bag.
that can't be it either.
Yeah. She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. Just like that, she was gone.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
Detail. In French version, they translated cherry with chérie, and it means sweetheart. That's cool. Nice. Chérie. Demo. French o wakaranai.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
We got totally jebaited. Wow. That just actually means Byakuya is even more of a jerk because he just did all that to then be a jerk to Jill and Toko. He still goes down a peg.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I didn't see him do late in the trial. It's one of these two, because it's not the third one. I don't actually know. Can I look? No. Well, if it's one of these two, go ahead and guess, but because I don't think this is... we'll get it wrong and we can go back, but I honestly can't go between the two, because I don't feel he was talking a lot. We'll do acting. That's what I would have picked. What are you gonna pick, Wit? Oh yeah, his account was how he talked. I can't even open that up. Of course, I wish I remember what she said just a second ago. See, Wit, we're playing this together. Let's see.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently.
Wow.
You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick.
He said dude. That's right.
And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude.
I remember that now that she says it.
Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
I went over that because I already just assumed Chihiro was a dude. Because I already knew it, and I forgot he didn't know. I just... Wow. So Wit nailed it.
Did you notice such a tiny detail?
Could have been foreshadowing too. Yeah, you're right.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
I hope she stays like that more often.
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Yeah, what is Mondo's... like... Oh. His secret is that he's gay. And he didn't want anybody to know. So he had to kill somebody. Yep. That's got to be it. First time I saw Trigger Happy Happy Stoverick was in the anime. Wow. I didn't know there was an actual anime, but that makes it even cooler. Which now sucks because we have a lot of gifts that would have made him happy. What a waste.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
Dude, he was coming on to you in the sauna.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem.
It seems we are all out of leaves.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
I like how he has like 3 voice actors.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Just tell us.
Jeez, did your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
Just tell us. Come on, man.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
A missing handbook is pretty important.
What do you have there? It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to... It'd be Chihiro's, because we don't know where theirs is. His is.
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
Is there a power? Does it need to be plugged in?
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
But you can't break it.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
There was a pile of weights in the room. There was the dumbbell on one side, and then just a pile of weights on the other side. But it's supposed to be able to hold 10 tons.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere?
Yeah.
How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How the heck get broken? By hitting its weak point, by exploding a bug, by hacking it. The bear said something about a weak point, so...
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
I can't imagine playing this game over the course of, like, taking breaks between days, because you would forget things like that.
You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and 2 of them broke in quick succession, then...
So Mondo knows the weak point? Who knows the weak point?
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness.
Yeah.
You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
That's a good point.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Still.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Good point.
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
He's so good, man. I'm with you. Like, he's my favorite hated character.
Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is...
Coffee.
When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
Okay. High temperature.
I flippin' knew it!
No, you didn't.
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
And Mondo went in the sauna. He didn't take his clothes off. So I'm assuming the handbook would have been in his pocket. It would have broken, and I bet you he has Leon's handbook right now. Yeah.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin.
Science right now.
If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
I didn't know that part. That's a good point. Stay still.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
I'm with you, Taka.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna...
Wait. Oh, they worked out. And then... They worked out. They took a shower. Got in the sauna afterwards?
Then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
Because his is broken.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
Because they were trying to be manly men.
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
We do.
I might know someone who did.
Thank you, Kara, for your discretion.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna? It had to be one who wore all their clothes into the sauna. It was... I always go the wrong freaking direction.
Here's my answer.
I guess there is
Mondo,
15 of them.
Your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Is he gay too? And that's why he's trying to protect his friend?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait.
I don't know why he killed.
You've got it all
Hero.
wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Crap.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
We're gonna watch the whole
If
thing.
what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
Which he did.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
I'm sure Mondo's handbook broke during the sauna shutdown. I can just prove that. That'll show that the handbook Mondo has might actually be Leon's?
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
He would have... He could have Chihiro's.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, he's using Leon's.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now.
Right?
Is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, he took Leon's and put his in there. So the one we thought was Leon's is actually Mondo's. And then he put Chihiro's in the sauna, so now that's why there's two broken ones.
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
Yep.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
This is such a good game.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Leon's dead.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student.
Yeah, he thinks of dead bodies as things.
It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Thanks, Bear Dad.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch!
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong!
We shared a special moment in the sauna. It was beautiful.
Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning?
I mean, literally all you have to do is show us your handbook.
That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
And now we play comic book artist. Okay. Got the thing. Was discovered. Oh, this is one page. Saw the tracksuit. Went into the boys' locker room. Right? Oh, no, that's girls. Yeah, it says boys on it, right? I think. What the heck goes here? Process of elimination. Okay, came to the boys like, hey, how's it going? You know what? I think this is here. And then I think walking into it. Hey, what's up? Put stuff in the locker. Says girls. There's no other actual moment of murder in that one. This is really hard to figure out. These could be wrong in 2 different orders. This is going to the girls' room, I think. And then he came in, did his little thing here. I know, this is only the second freaking chapter. Come on. He would have wrote it down then. Act 5. We'll come to the sauna. And I guess... that makes it seem like it's locked. I don't think there's anything locked. This was a picture in another panel. This is him taking it? Yeah, because this looks like he put it up, which would have been in the girls' room. So this one's a red herring. I'm okay with this. So it would make sense. I like the time we get. That's good. Picked it up. Okay, we're gonna try this.
Here's exactly what happened.
And this will help me understand.
Let's take a look back to before the incident.
And this will help me understand if we get something wrong, if we lose a heart and we just get to keep going, or we don't lose a heart and it's like once we get to this point in the trial, it's a puzzle that we can't fake. Because I'm interested to figure that out.
Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct?
And this music is definitely Ghost in the Shell to me.
At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room.
Those might actually need to be switched.
But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Oh, we nailed it. Okay, cool.
Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room.
I am still confused why Mondo did it, though. I want a motive.
Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
Oh, right. Gay theory. Thank you. So we got it right. We really didn't want that.
It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell.
I forgot. We already figured it out.
Approached the unsuspecting Chihiro and attacked him.
Rearrange events. Okay, so this is wrong. Really? It's not that. I lost a heart. Thank you for noticing that. If it's not that, it is something else we put up. What is that anyway? What am I getting wrong here? No. I'm pretty sure it's not this. That picture is... I'm trying to cancel these out. This is right here, so that means it's not it. I'm trying to figure this one out. This looks like it dropped in the sauna? This is a point of when he hit him. And that was already right, because we used it earlier. Right here. That was right. Okay, now I'm lost. I have no idea what this is. You got a guess what? Put something in the locker room. Went behind him, swung at him. What happens between swinging at him and it falling? Maybe this? Because blood splatter, it got on the poster. Did that. Maybe, okay, we're gonna try this. I think this might be it. We're trying to recreate events, is what I can guess. I think we need to just solve the red herrings next time, which is, if they're already a panel, that's already a panel. This is kind of already a panel. And I don't remember a door anywhere.
The killer is...
Let's try it.
You!
We lost a heart. Remember that.
And attacked it.
Okay, got it.
And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned.
He was just... Now I was asking him... Playing it together, Kara. If I don't want help from chat, I'll just not look at it. I have it off to the side. Sometimes this comic thing doesn't feel
to try and hide the act.
perfect or not,
First,
but I just need to get used to it.
Pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then removing the bloody poster.
That is removing. We got another part wrong. Okay, so this one's wrong. Oh. Locked door. Makes sense. Getting the girls one to go into the girls. Right? That one might be wrong, and if it is, it's the dumbbell. Okay.
Here's exactly what happened. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Dang it! I guess it's the dumbbell. Oh, this is him removing things. Okay. So he's removing the dumbbell.
The killer is you!
I know. I only have like 2 hearts left or something. I hope I don't
Which
keep
is
getting
why
this
the
wrong.
killer hurried to try and hide the act. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Okay. Wow. Removed? Let's look at what we have coming after this. Girls' room, which is how they got in. I think this is right. That's him laying it in the girls' room. It is not that. Or that. And it's not. Okay, so it is something we put later that's wrong. That's right. That's right. That seems right to me. So it'd only be this one. Right? And this is him placing it there? So he took the body, went to the girl's room, opened it up, put the dumbbell down, put her down, or him down. It's all there. Because this has to be right. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because he took blood from from his head and put it on there. He went to the sauna, threw it in, and it broke. I really hope if we get this wrong, we don't have to do like the whole trial again. Because we are right up until here. Okay.
The killer is you!
We're gonna try it.
Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Okay.
And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course.
That was a little tough.
But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl.
Oh, I can imagine these actually being super long. Okay.
After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been
Now I'm worried
placed
about
in
that
the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
I don't know what goes there then. I like if we get it wrong, everyone votes for me.
Is this...
Yes, I want to give it another shot.
I refuse to give up yet!
Okay. We know pretty much most of it. Okay, here. This is the jacket. This is heading to the boys' room, then opening it up. Right? Where is that? Here it is. And then you just open it up. Okay, this is right so far. This is him being a macho man. This is getting blood on the poster. This is taking away that. Going to... This is going to the girls' room. Opening it up. Right? Oh, putting up the poster. Is that not what I had before? I didn't. Where did I have that before? I think we literally just got it from that last little bit. Let's see. This. Wrote it in blood. Walking into the sauna. And I'm pretty sure this is it. That's the only one I'm not 100% sure on. I don't know what that's for. Okay.
Here's exactly what happened.
I never used that one.
First,
Right.
let's take a look back to before the incident.
I kept getting it confused.
Last night, Celeste saw at the time.
I want to get to the part we got to last time.
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out. She made her way to the locker room. Specifically, but how could the victim, who was apparently a girl...
I already messed up? Wait, what? Did I get these mixed up? Is it that and then going in the boys' locker room? Okay, yeah, I just swapped those. Let's try that again. I just did this.
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room.
Right.
But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Okay. Hashtag switched.
Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was... It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment.
Yep.
Which is why the killer hurried to try and then, removing the bloody poster,
Head to the girls' room.
and finally carrying the corpse. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been
Put it
placed
up.
in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
Okay.
And that's
Think we got it
exactly
now.
how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no.
This just proves he's more of a jerk.
Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation.
Why
making
was he
things
out
even
late
more
at night?
complicated.
What was he doing? And how did he get in the girls' locker room? Was it just unlocked? Oh, it was open. I guess it was just open.
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's
It's
lifeless
actually really
body.
gruesome. He did that to a dead body. Just to be a jerk. To Genocide Joe.
Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime.
This doesn't make any sense. He purposefully tried to blame it on somebody, and if we all went along with him, we all would have died. What is his deal?
He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade,
But he doesn't seem like one who wants to test us. He just seems to be like a jerk. I mean, he doesn't want to be like friend or co-op or anything. It's kind of weird. He was impressed the way we did the first trial, I guess, but I mean, there's Yakuya who's helping us by being a jerk, and then there's Kyoko who's just helping us mysteriously.
The killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna.
Oh, okay, then there's an angle. He's training us, so we're not useless. He could think that.
There, they plan to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook.
He probably actually... No, he wouldn't have thought it was actually Genocide Joe. Who did he think it was? Because he was surprised it was that she was a he.
And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out.
I'm actually very surprised.
Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Wait! No, this can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence?
That he has Leon's handbook.
You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence that Mondo is the killer. That already revealed itself early in the trial. It's unsure where Mondo's handbook is right now. It's broken. Once I do that, everything will become clear. New element has been added to bullet time battles. Let's talk a little bit about fever time and nega time. Oh, great. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate, and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push right, left, however you want to destroy your opponent's verbal assault. So this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out. So make sure the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got access to special time, right? So we've also prepared something called nega time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates nega time during bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use nega time. Well then, GLHF. So it's just holding space in case we lose our tempo thing. Oh, we're doing it to him?
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
I guess if you keep tempo enough, you don't need that. And I keep feeling like it's slightly ahead of time.
Thinking so far is right. Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
He admitted it. Got an A. Oh, I guess that means we get more coins. 82 medals. Wow. We have over 100 now, like 150.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Yeah. That first one when Leon was delusional, that's just like, come on, man. He seems like he's got a code and he accepts the fact that he just got discovered.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting! No holding on! Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank!
This is majority vote, because I feel like Taka's not going to
Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Corn roll, bro.
What?
Oh, this time it looks like you got it right again. Yet it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Owada. The fried croissant. We shall miss you, pastry head.
Unbelievable.
In case you were wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I know he wouldn't do that. No way he would kill somebody.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Nande. Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. Thanks. Anyway, there once was a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now, nobody will be able to say anything like, even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken deep root inside of him. It was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course include Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm gonna get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body, but sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me, Mondo. Yep. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. That's actually well thought out. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro always aspired to be. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help me give some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, he must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. Oh, that's why he switched the places? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro.
But...
How does moving the body keep his secret?
Because
if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep his promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So, why? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it. Whatever his was. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something you didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong!
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
I like when they have their backline and it's actually what they say. To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. And here I thought he was gay. He still could be gay. But once again, this game has thrown us another curveball. Okay. Wow. Yep. This game is so good at making you think you got what it is. And then you obviously don't. That's why this game has so many good reviews. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother was named Daiya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daiya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his own family, his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Looks like his hair, too. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, #1 in the gang. And his #2, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. And when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Could someone like that really be our leader? And all that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why
I
gotta get stronger than Daya. Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes, I gotta come out on top. On the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. During the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. Suddenly, kicked him out of the way. Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. "My bad, kid. I effed up. Sorry." Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. "Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men." He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was going to lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong.
Yeah.
Super strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. I remember mentioning, I think his macho things might be a little bit of an act. He was trying too hard. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. How did he know? How would he have known that? Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I had been carrying around, it would have been for nothing. So that's why. Mondo. Fun fact, when someone says in Japanese, their name, just the other person's name, I was told, it means they're acknowledging or like coming in tune with how they feel. Kind of like we would say, oh man, but like we just said Mondo, like we're acknowledging a lot of feelings he's having right now. We understand. That's what someone said, and now ever since I see that in anime, it makes more sense. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. Wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously?
I'm sorry. Sorry
I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
What? Because, I mean, you kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
Chihiro, bro. I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong? Are you effing with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed, and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Super strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch!
And stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was lying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at him, down on the ground.
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. Darn it. I actually thought he was gay. We'll never know. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? Because I sure don't. Konoyaro. Just shut it, USOB. Go ahead, say that again. I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but... Unfortunately, I can't do that right now because it's time for punishing. Time for punishing is fast approaching. No, you're about to get it. You're just in time, Kara. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now, well now, well now, well now.
And apparently Kara was wrong. He wasn't gay. They pulled a backstory out of her butt and just was like, this is why. That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished. No, I thought he was. And I thought that was like his secret. But then they kind of just fulfilled in a backstory that we didn't really know about.
Ridiculous.
Of course, I guess they hinted at it, sort of. They didn't know his brother was dead. But I mean, to me it made more sense if he was a manly man, but the secret he'd want to hide is that he liked guys. That's not very manly. Anyway.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Awada, the ultimate biker gang leader. Is he gonna get like run over by a bunch of motorcycles?
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Wait.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
What promise was that? I made sure to get out of the way. Is he gonna die like his brother? Oh, he has the hair. What? The Cage of Death. I mean, all the blood's coming out of his head. It's going to his feet. And then he was electrocuted? Is that what that was? Wait, what? I'm confused how he died. I don't get it. Was he fried? Was he centrifugal forced into like a pancake? Well, with that wasn't it was more weird than anything. There wasn't blood or anything, and I don't even understand what happened. Like, Kara, do you know how he did that happened? Okay, that's what I thought. But that doesn't make wasn't very clear, and it was okay, got it. He went into a cage that you like ride the motorcycle all the way up in a circle. I guess just really, really fast. And now he's Mondo Butter. My bro. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. No. as Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls. We were each forced to realize once again. But of course he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game? Kyokuya. I wouldn't be surprised if our character killed him off, we didn't get caught, and we win.
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that...
However...
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime? Yeah. Come on, Byakuya.
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like a voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. He almost got himself killed. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule, too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it. It's true.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. You actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Again, we all could have died. Which is why I decided to lend a helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene.
But...
Man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course, Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment. So now we're a target.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become blackened, I know who I'll have to watch out for. I'm sorry, what?
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied? Yeah, it was a test, man.
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma. I need to be on her good side. Just saying.
What's this?
I'm up next.
You
like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating! These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mean? Mean?
What the heck?
Mean.
Damn it!
Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever. Doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh, how
And
exciting.
the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. This is the start of a terrifying friendship. That's enough. Who to say? I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. I say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm gonna find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
In name of my family for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up!
Oh, so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper, temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. I'm never gonna... Every time I hear that now, it's just Winnie the Pooh. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy, and H had more of a future than us. Ugh. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying...
What? So there is like a secret bunch of people watching this?
This is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part.
Oh, what now? There's a mole. This game.
You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right?
Yeah, so many twists, man. I love it.
Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
That clarifies that people are watching. And it could be Kyoko, because she's the only one that doesn't have an ultimate title. Of course, that's what we think, which means it's probably not. There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean. They were supposed to be 16?
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... Super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied! Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
She also does the ellipses things. She doesn't talk. But like I said, it could also not be her because we think it's her. Dang. Oh yeah, the guy who frames Joe does that too, I guess. You received the Crazy Diamond present. Whew. Well, I mean, we just saved. And that was a chapter. Man, that was a chapter. This game is awesome. Holy cow. Ooh, so many questions. I see what you did there. Whew. I mean, wow. This game is awesome. I'm just gonna say that. I'm looking forward to playing it again tomorrow at 10. 10 Central, so 11 Eastern and 8 Pacific. And I think that's 4 o'clock European? Something like that. Yeah, Chapter 2 took us about 8 hours, 7, 8 hours, which is all we did today. It's fantastic. I have considered playing Undertale, and I have Undertale. And I'm most likely going to want to play that too. We'll see. I need to figure out where I need to go to start building viewership. And I picked this one over some other games because there's shows how many followers actually follow that game on Twitch. Undertale, I'm sure, would be huge, and I have the game, and I never finished it. I played like the first hour or so, and I just, for whatever reason, I stopped playing it. But I do know there's a pacifist run, and I'm pretty sure I would do it that way, because I'd be very just happy. But holy cow, just under 4 hours. Already feeling it, even though I took a nap. Unfortunate. That's gonna do it for me. This has been Spifftastic, me guys. If you enjoyed this and you're not following the channel, please click that very sexy and very free follow button up on the top. Nice little heart. I'm still trying to figure out how to upload these to YouTube so I can get maybe more exposure that way. They can find the channel. You guys have any recommendations, any feedback, sound, quality, things like that? Just send me a message. Appreciate it and love your feedback. Until then, everyone have a Spifftastic rest of your night. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time if you want to see more of this game. Because I'll be playing more of this game. Because this game is awesome. That's why I chose to play this instead of Overwatch. Till then, God bless. Good night.